What are the country and regional risks in foreign direct investment? Let's see. The book says that we mainly have these risks and these country and regional risk. So of course the currency. Yeah. So if you normally if you have some investments in another country, you have the risk that there's some fluctuation and some inconvertibility of your currency. And that's why sometimes countries, they have some arrangements with soft currency countries. And there are some other approaches, for example, of payment and price things, so that you can always keep your profit margin to preserve this. And then you fix, you have your index and you adjust this index and say, okay, we will always stay on this index. And sometimes also you just have a contract, and this contract says everything is in dollar, US dollar. So then you have a hard currency obligation, right? Or sometimes we do some counter trade. So if you invest something from America in this country, then this country has also then say, okay, you then we sell some goods from United States to South Africa, and then South Africa says, okay, in the same amount that we bought some products from your country, we sell then some products from South Africa to United States. So the governments of host countries and home countries, sometimes they have some different approaches to have a balance between import and exports, right? Sometimes they do counter purchase or barter. Bartering is also very common, or they buy back some other things, right? And yeah, these are so the approaches that governments sometimes have to have a balance of imported and exported goods. But you can see in some countries we have some risk, and the government stability is very important in these days. For if you do investment, a direct investment in a host country. So in former days, we had the theory that once had sovereign rights theory. So if we have a sovereign, a dictator, and this was a very stable country. But these days, or today, we see, okay, the dictators, they have sometimes also just raw political power. Yeah, in America, we have some agency. They're helping to reduce the political risk, so a little bit of risk insurance. And we do this over by using some systems. I'm going to show you. Share you. Wait. Okay, the first thing is OPIC. It's the former. It's a former investment agency. Now it has a new name, so please change this in the book. So OPIC oversees, it's a private investment, is a corporation. So that was the United States government's development finance institution, right? It calls now, it's now DFC. Let me see. Yeah, you can see it here. Let me see. Okay. So the OPIC is now the DFC. This is the Overseas Private Investment Corporation. And they transformed now in the US International Development Finance Corporation. New name, more tools, more resources to invest. Okay, let's go to the DFC. So these are methods and how the Americans, the US Americans, they try to give you more security if you are investing in another country. So see, so they have financing solution to the most critical challenging facing the developing world today, for example. So what they offer, they give you a debt financing, political risk insurance, equity financing, technical development, right? So yeah, they help you to invest, right? Good. The next organization is the MIGA, the Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency. It's part of the World Bank Group. So they provide political risk insurance. You can see it comes from the World Bank Group, and credit enhancement for cross-border private sector investors and lenders, right? So you can say you can apply for guarantee or some currency and convertibility and transfer restriction or expropriation, or if there's a war, terrorism and civil disturbance or breach of contract or non-honoring of financial obligation, right? So you can here get a guarantee that cover your project. And yeah, for example, here, we just open this, the currency and convertibility. See, also have different products here. Okay. So these are methods today to reduce the political risk, even if you, especially if you are in countries where there's no government stability. Okay, in the next chapter, we will take a look at the attitudes towards FDI. So sometimes in emerging economies, they don't want your investment. But let's focus on this in the next chapter.